board met tonight in executive session. We're now ready to start the public portion of our meeting. We had one piece of written communication since our last meeting, which was on April 30th, an email from Mar Glick on May 1st with regard to one of the SEL positions that we are eliminating due to the end of federal funding. Both Mr. Phillips and I responded that federal funding is wonderful when it's here. It's awful when it goes away, but we have to accommodate that change in our financial circumstances. The President's report. Everybody should come to the Arts Festival and Eco Fair on Saturday. It's going to be wonderful. We're going to have displays of student art and vendors, and the Board of Ed will have a table, so come and visit us. And as will other community organizations, including the Foundation, Freeman Gardens, just about everyone you can think of. So keep your fingers crossed for a good day. We had our meeting, as you know, our board goals included a provision for meeting with representatives, the mayor and representatives from the town council, which we did. Jocelyn and Kristen and I met with Mayor Debbie Manns and two of the council members. We talked about, we are working on relationship building with this new administration in Glen Ridge. We talked about field usage, always a hot topic, and the sort of larger issue of open space in Glen Ridge. And one of the council's intentions is to have a conversation in some format with the public about how the Glen Ridge public views open space. In addition to sports, as you know, like many New Jersey towns, we're short on open space. We also discussed traffic management, which is a big focus of the town. You all have seen all the many cones all over town directing in traffic, trying to improve pedestrian safety. That is an ongoing project. The town has a traffic engineer. We are working on that. They are looking forward to the outcome of today's Montclair election because we do a lot of shared service with Montclair, but the entire Montclair Town Council and mayor are turning over. So it's a little bit of a guessing game as to how the relationship will go forward. But we are hoping for a good relationship. I feel very positive. I think we felt very positive about the meeting. Dirk was there. Borough Manager Mike Sikeli could not be there, but will be at the next one. We felt that it was important to have the superintendent and the borough manager there because we may have grand ideas, but the people who actually work out those ideas need to be present to give us context for those ideas. I also wanted to say something about Rosemary Cancelliere, who is retiring after a long career with us. She was at Linden Avenue School. So many people have talked about her, have said their children loved her, will miss her greatly. She has also influenced many, many, many classes and grade levels and even generations of students. So I wish her well in her retirement. One other thing I wanted to bring to your attention was that unfortunately in the last week there have been 3 suicides of middle school students in New Jersey. They happened to take place in Monmouth County. I was in touch with Maureen Brogan, who is the head of the Traumatic Loss Coalition, because there is a specific concern, particularly we're concerned with all students' mental health, but this brings into sharp focus middle school student mental health. It's a difficult age group. It's full of developmental issues, social media issues. It's something I think we all have to be cognizant of, and this has really brought it home. So it will be something I think we'll all hear more about. And finally, for the board, I sent out the email reminding my colleagues about the board self-evaluation, which we do every year. It is available now via the online form, and I sent you all the links. So the deadline is June 2nd, Sunday, June 2nd. So please get them in so that we can move forward with the goal-making process, which we will get going very shortly. And also we will be talking about the scheduling of our board retreat and trying to put some structure and content into that. So coming up. And that is the president's report.
All right, thank you, Betsy. We're going to start off the evening by recognizing a group of staff members who are going through Orton Gillingham training, and that's all made possible with a generous donation from the Glen Education Foundation. So I'm going to call up Mr. DeWitt to present the individuals who are completing this 2-year certification program.
And we might add that Mrs. Wong is with us tonight, the chair of the foundation, to whom we always owe a great debt.
Okay. They're coming up. Winnie, it's over here. They're coming up. Mr. Phillips, Ms. Ginsburg, board members, thank you so much. I'm here tonight to present you with our second class of staff members who now, as of 6:45 tonight, are fully certified in the method of Orton Gillingham. So I'd like Ms. Wong, if you could join us. Liz and Jamie, who are the 2 teacher trainers, if you could come up, we'll call them up one by one, and then I have a couple words I wanted to say. And they're in no particular order. So there's 2 certificates that they're getting tonight. I think one is better than the other. It's from Glen Ridge. It says, in recognition of your dedication, commitment, and professional accomplishment in the completion of the Orton certification program. And I think the one they really want is in here. Right, this is the one they want. This says Fairleigh Dickinson University, Orton Gillingham Dyslexia Specialist Training Course. This certificate witnesses that blank has completed the requirements of the Certificate of Orton Gillingham Teacher, has been awarded the certificate with all the rights and privileges pertaining thereto from July 1st, 2024 through June 30th, 2027. And it's signed by Dr. Farrell at Fairleigh Dickinson. So one by one, if we could. Cassie Gibbons. Maybe over here? Is that
fine?
Yeah, okay, if you want to stand over here, we'll go one by one. I'm trying to get on camera, I'm trying to make sure. Anthony Ilya. Jen O'Neill Gonzaga. Lisa Walter. Arlene Nahn. Sharon Smith. I got half a handshake. Lisa Jacobson. Samantha Malillo. and Tricia Davis. So we're here to recognize our Orton Gillingham certificate graduates for their work, but also to thank the Glenridge Education Foundation for their generous financial support, and to everyone for their belief in this program. We began this process back in 2018 with an Orton Gillingham Summer Institute. We had 23 staff members that attended the week-long Orton Gillingham, we called it OG Light because it was not the true certification, but where they could gain some interest, gain some insight, learn some methods, hopefully things they would bring into the classroom. The idea was that they would learn some tips and tricks of multisensory reading strategies. As a side note, 6 of the staff members who attended that are actually now certified. Subsequent summers, we held multi-day workshops, and I believe another 3 staff members who had attended have been certified. A little bit about the program. We've essentially created a remote campus with Fairleigh Dickinson University, where we've teamed up with them at the graduate school level. The program that we have has 4 graduate school classes across 2 full years, 1 per semester. Each course is made up of several parts. It begins when I assign each teacher with 2 students that they will work with that semester. Each course has a 2 or 3 week session to learn the methods, and then each following week, they have 2 one-hour weekly sessions with direct supervision where they're working with students, and then they have a graduate level class after that. Each week, they receive direct supervision during the teaching sessions where our teachers become students while providing tutoring support for our Glenridge Public School students. That means that each staff member is able to provide 2 individual sessions per week. In an effort to expand the program, I've invited other school districts to include their teachers. They pay for the classes, and we receive the benefit of more of our students receiving the unique tutoring opportunity, and that's our 2 friends at the end who are just certified. A quick look at the numbers. I know Mr. Phillips is a math guy, so we'll look at some numbers. Each teacher provides 2 hours per week with a requirement of roughly 25 hours per semester, meaning that each teacher has provided roughly 100 hours of one-to-one tutoring to the struggling students in reading over the past 2 years. The current cohort has provided 900 hours of individual tutoring over 2 years. Our last cohort, which had 8 teachers, provided 800 hours. Our current cohort, which is just completing year 1 on Thursday, will provide another, I think, 300 or 400 hours. So when we add that up, the Orton Gillingham certification program, which again is generally funded by the Glenridge Education Foundation, has provided 2,000 hours of individual tutoring in reading since its inception. That's the immediate benefit, helping our neediest students. Long-term benefits. Let's look at who makes up our OG program. Their certificate graduates are made up of regular education teachers, special education teachers, learning disability teacher consultants, and reading specialists. We're able to address reading for special education students, regular education students, and other students who may be struggling. They've been bothered by me probably every other month to get some feedback from them. So I had 2 questions that I asked them most recently, and I just want to share what they said. One was, what has the OG experience meant to you? Being part of the OG experience has meant so much to me. I not only gained a new teaching perspective, but also built a camaraderie with other educators who taught me so much as well. The OG experience has been a tremendous journey through the past 2 years. I feel I've grown so much as an educator and my understanding of teaching phonics. I've been able to assess, create engaging lessons, and practice my abilities, and I feel I have grown through the years. My OG experience has given me the opportunity to see how this systemic approach to learning benefits students at their level. I was fortunate enough to work with one student for 2 years and saw their growth from start to finish in the program. Even when working with a student for a year, I witnessed their academic growth with sounds and sound spellings. It was a wonderful thing to see for both myself and my student. Finally, I did ask them what's one thing that they would want to share with the Glenridge Education Foundation. I'll read you a few of them. I'd like to express my sincere thanks to the Glen Ridge Education Foundation for making this opportunity available. Another person, being part of the OG cohort allowed me to grow as an educator, and I'm grateful for that opportunity and for the generosity of the Glen Ridge Education Foundation. I'd like to thank the Glen Ridge Education Foundation for allowing me to have this opportunity to grow, and I'd like to share that this experience was impactful and has changed my way of thinking and teaching. Thank you for providing this opportunity for me to be part of the program. I know it will continue to use these skills learned during my OG training within my classroom during our language arts instructions. And finally, I'm so proud to have completed the OG program. The program has taught me so much about the reading process, as well as strategies and techniques that really work to teach readers. I'm excited to introduce the magic of reading to individuals who struggle in this area. I can honestly say that I feel blessed to have had this opportunity to touch the lives of others and make their reading dreams come true. As an OG certified teacher, I know I can make it happen, and what a feeling it is. So thank you to the teachers for their time and efforts. A sincere thank you to Fran and the Education Foundation for everything they've done. This would not be possible without you. Thank you.
I'd love to offer my congratulations and thanks to all of you up there, because we write the check, but you're the ones who do the hard work, and of course you ladies as well. We're delighted to be able to sponsor this program for what now, 3 years? 3 years. Three sessions, yes. Oh, it's been 5 years. Those checks come and go really fast. I have to say that I've never received thank you notes from parents like we have as a result of this program. And I think that having been able to visit a classroom where the process was being used, I noticed that the entire class was benefiting from the techniques and methods that the teacher was implementing that she had learned in Orton-Gillingham. And it was a very lively class. It was great to see them so engaged. So I want to thank you. Jack, you've done a great job, especially the thank you notes. It really motivates us. And the administration, the rest of the administration, for bringing this project to us. I don't think that, although we've sponsored a lot of impactful programs over the last 31 years, I don't think there's one that has had any more impact than this. So thank you all. Keep it up.
Thank you.
I also want to echo congratulations and thank you to the foundation once again. The impact is being felt throughout the elementary schools and the high schools, and I'm seeing that as I walk in the buildings and seeing what's happening in the classrooms, whether it's small group or large group. It's amazing. And again, we appreciate everything that the foundation does for us. Jack, you said 2,000 hours? So the mathematician is playing, well, I know how much roughly an OG gets paid for tutoring. We're saving the residents a lot of money in tutoring fees, let me tell you that. Mr. DeWitt got to recognize teachers. I get to recognize students. I'm going to recognize 2 students at the beginning of my report and 2 students at the end. So I'm first going to recognize, I'm going to ask Jimmy Benson to come up. You can clap for him. 2 of the teachers were from Verona, which makes this a little bit more meaningful. Jimmy plays for the Verona Glen Ridge ice hockey team. The team had a very successful year. They went 15-7. They were the Kelly Division champions. Not only were they champions, but historic. They played for the championship game, the longest high school hockey game in state history this year. So amazing. Jimmy was one of the leaders, played defense. You don't expect a lot of scoring, but he ended up getting 7 goals and 21 assists. And with all his success on the defense and on the offensive side, he was recognized as first team Kelly Division, and one of the rare occasions that we have an all-state hockey player, third team all-public co-op in the state. So I want to recognize Jimmy for all his effort and the success he and the team had this year. Congratulations. And I do not see Riley O'Sullivan here, so I'm going to try to get her at the next meeting. I would recognize her because she's quite taller than I am. She is a basketball player and a tennis player, among other things. So hopefully she'll be able to make it to the next meeting. I have a few announcements, and I'll get to my 2 other students I'm going to recognize. First, I want to congratulate high school teacher Maria de Cipres, who was presented with the Experatas Language Matters Award at the American Association of Teachers of Spanish and Portuguese, the New Jersey chapter. Maria has been very successful in the classroom, but has expanded that in the last several years of taking her expertise outside the classroom and some international experience and being recognized for all of her contributions. So I want to congratulate her. Recently, at Ridgewood Avenue, we have several teams that participate in the stock market game, and our advisor is Miss Christine Sulo, and she's been doing this for years. Actually, the first year that Miss Sulo ran the tournament, one of her teams placed first that year, and Miss Sulo is retiring after this year, so it's only fitting that one of her teams finished first this year. Out of 875 middle school teams, one of the 6th grade teams placed first place in the stock market game this year. So congratulations to the team and Miss Sulo. Back in February, the CCD changed the protocol with COVID. We were waiting for the New Jersey Department of Health to follow suit. They did in April, so I wanted to make everyone aware there's no longer a mandated period of time where students or staff would have to sit out if they have COVID. So it's going to be treated as any other typical illness. The protocol will be the same. As long as you have declining symptoms and your 24-hour period of being fever-free, you can return back to school. So if you have questions, just reach out to your school nurse. This past weekend, Seussical the Musical happened. If you remember, we had a couple singers here. They put on a terrific show. It was just a small part of what happened over the weekend. It was amazing for anyone who got to see the show. Over 200 kids participated, and there was times where that stage was just filled with kids, and kids running out on the side of the stage and down the aisles, and they just never stopped. There were so many kids. It was so colorful. The kids were just right on cue the whole time. It was an amazing show to watch. I congratulate all the students who participated. I thank all the parents who volunteered because, as you can imagine, 200 kids in a production, that's quite an undertaking. And I want to once again thank Heather Ballantyne for all the time and commitment she puts into it. And I also want to congratulate the girls' high school lacrosse team, which just past Saturday won the Essex County tournament by beating Montclair 15-9. It was a terrific game. They played amazing, and I wish them the best for the rest of the season. And now I have my other 2 students I'd like to recognize, and this is always a special time of year where they're getting a lot of recognition and a much-deserved recognition. I want to call up Juliet. Juliet Lepore. Juliet's journey at Glenridge High School has been marked by her unwavering commitment to academic excellence, leadership, and service. Her dedication to achieving at the highest level and seizing every opportunity has rightfully earned her a place on the high honor roll every marking period of high school. Juliet has earned an impressive cumulative GPA of 2.462, scored a 1540 on her SAT, and has taken 11 AP courses, and was named an AP Scholar with distinction by the College Board. She has also earned the seal of biliteracy in Spanish, been inducted to the National Honor Society, Math Honor Society, Computer Honor Society, and the National Art Honor Society, and was an honor guard for the 2023 high school graduation, a distinction given to the top 4 students of the junior class. Juliet will be attending Vanderbilt in the fall as a computer science major. Her passion truly lies in the STEM field, particularly in computer science, where she excels beyond measure, enrolling in challenging courses like AP Computer Science Principles and AP Computer Science A. Juliet has found joy in problem solving and programming. Her enthusiasm for app development and her ability to comprehend complex coding languages like Java showcase her exceptional talent and drive. Juliet's brilliance isn't confined to the classroom. She's a true leader, balancing a demanding load of AP classes with varsity sports and various leadership roles and clubs. As a representative for the Girls Club, she spearheads community service projects. As the founder of Girls Who Code chapter, she inspires her peers to pursue STEM careers. And as a peer leader, she serves as a mentor for her younger Glenridge High School peers. Juliet is a true role model, a leader, and a force for positive change in our community. With her drive, resilience, and commitment, there's no doubt she'll continue to excel and make a lasting impact as she pursues her academic goal and career goals. Congratulations, Juliet, on your outstanding achievements. The future holds endless possibilities, and we can't wait to see the incredible things you accomplish. This upcoming fall, Juliet will be attending Vanderbilt University. Juliet is the class of 2024 salutatorian. Congratulations. And at this time, if we brought up the salutatorian, knowing it's fitting that our next student we bring up is a valedictorian, Arnov. Come on. Arnov Soroji is an outstanding student who has achieved incredible academic success through his high school career with a 4.7 GPA and a 1570 SAT score. He has demonstrated his commitment to academic excellence and his ability to excel in challenging coursework. Arnov has taken 23 AP and honors courses and has scored a 5 on 6 exams, including AP Physics 1, Psychology, U.S. History, Human Geography, Seminar, and World History. This is a testament to his dedication to his studies and his ability to master even the most difficult subjects. In addition to his academic achievements, Arnov is very proud of his tutoring opportunities. He was invited by the College Board to peer tutor other students that were preparing for the SATs. He loves math and physics and enjoys the opportunity to share his love of those subjects with his peers. Arnov has been an integral member of our cross-country teams over the years and was able to manage his sports activities and extracurriculars. Arnov's proudest personal accomplishment is teaching himself how to create a website from scratch using HTML and CSS. Overall, Arnov is an exceptional student who has achieved incredible academic success while making significant contributions to his school and community. He is a leader and a scholar, and he has a bright future ahead of him. This fall, Arnov will be attending the University of Illinois, the class of 2024 valedictorian. I always enjoy these moments. I know the two of them have, this is the second time we've been together recognizing their achievement, and I know there will be at least 2 other times this school year with the academic awards and graduation. So well-deserved. It's quite an accomplishment, considering how competitive and challenging Glenridge High School would be to be one of the top 2 students. So again, another round of applause. At this time, I'll turn the program back over to you.
Okay, and one item I forgot in the president's report, just as our graduates' families have lawn signs celebrating their accomplishment, our non-student graduate has his own lawn sign. So those of you who have not had a chance to go by the board office, you should take a look, because on the side is a lawn sign for Dirk Phillips, who has taken almost 30 years to get out of the Glen Ridge Public Schools, as opposed to the 13 years it takes most of our graduates. But those years were well spent, and the sign is a wonderful tribute from the Project Graduation team. So take a look if you haven't had a chance. And now, we need to go on with the rest of our business portion of our meeting. It is now,
Excuse them if they want.
yes, I should say, we always love people to have people stay with us, but we know that some of you have other engagements. So thank you for being here.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Okay, it is now time for public comment on agenda or other item, on agenda items only, excuse me. I think everyone in the audience knows the protocol. So does anyone have a question or comment? Mrs. Wong, I'm looking at you. Okay. All right, that being the case, we will go on with the rest of our meeting. It is time for a committee and liaison report, since it is the first meeting of the month. Let's start with our student representative, David Kelly.
Currently in the high school, we are in the midst of AP testing. They began last Monday, and they will continue to the end of this week with makeups in the next following weeks. Senior service is back this year, and many students are taking advantage of it. Senior service is an opportunity for students to take short internships instead of class, where they'll just be wasting time by the end of the year. And also, this is a little bit personal, for a little bias for me, but the lacrosse team this weekend has one of the biggest games of the season, playing Montclair in the border battle, where they pass back a trophy every year, and we started this tradition last year, so it should be fun.
Very good, thank you. Heather?
The curriculum committee hasn't met since I last reported out, but we're meeting this week.
Anthony?
GRIA has not met since the last social, so there is no report.
Darius?
For Central Home and School, did the same thing, no report for this quarter.
Jocelyn?
So the Personnel and Policy Committee met, I don't have the date in front of my head, but maybe May 3rd last week. And we were discussing some of the policy that you'll see on the agenda for tonight's meeting, as well as shifts to personnel for next year. The Negotiations Committee met on May 2nd with the administrator team, and we established a new contract which will start July 1, 2024 and extend until June 30th, 2027. We're all very excited to have that resolved and look forward to continuing to have such great administrators for the next 3 years. So thank you on that front. GRACE, the Glen Ridge Association for Special Education, is having their final meeting of the year this upcoming Wednesday. It will be virtual from 7 to 8:30, and that link has been sent out, and I'm sure you can also email the GRACE address through the Director of Student Services website if you did not get the link. And then Ridgewood had a home and school meeting on May 3rd with a lot of updates. As Mr. Phillips said, there was the Seussical performance on the 10th and 11th of May, which involved about a third of the student body of the school and many parent volunteers. They've been busy with transition events for students both coming into Ridgewood and students leaving Ridgewood and going to the middle school. There have been buddy breakfasts, parent meetings, student tours, sort of the whole thing. And Move Up Day will be on June 7th. Also upcoming at Ridgewood is the Rhino Romp and Field Day, and a lot of enrichment activities by grade. So there's just been a lot happening generally, and there will be a final meeting of the year on Friday, June 7th, for those who want to attend and get the kind of full recap.
The Linden Avenue Home and School Association has not met since our last meeting. I have not heard from the Glen Ridge Diversity and Inclusion Association, although I did have an email from Felice Bettenbender, who has been the co-leader. She has a senior, she is relinquishing the co-leader position, and I wanted to thank her publicly for her contribution. She has been a terrific collaborative leader, hard worker, I know that the GRDIA is in her debt as well. And now, Tricia.
The middle school, high school HSA has not met since our last board meeting, April 30th. So no update at this time.
Okay, Duval.
Yes, Forest Avenue Home and School has not met. However, they had their spring fundraiser on May 2nd at the Glen Ridge Country Club. About 75 people attended. Apparently it was, well, I saw some of the decorations. It was quite beautiful. They had a big auction. And of course, one of the highest winning auction item was Principal for a Day, which is always a favorite. I don't know quite how much they raised, but I think overall it was considered quite successful. And their next meeting and last of the year will be June 3rd at Fitzgerald's, and that is, of course, open if you would like to go. And the Glen Ridge Educational Foundation met last Tuesday, and we reviewed, Fran, will you tell me, 8 grants? Some very creative and interesting ideas were brought forth. We will be announcing more about that later, or the foundation will be announcing more about that later. But it was a very exciting meeting because lots of good stuff coming down the pike.
Thank you. Okay, minutes from the meeting of April 30th, our last meeting. Has everyone had a chance to look at those minutes? Any changes? None? May I have, Jocelyn, may I have a motion to, will we move the minutes?
I move M1.
Okay, may I have a second? Second from Heather. Okay, Barbara, would you call the roll?
Ms. Akinwande?
Aye.
Mr. Bonnet?
Aye.
Mr. Denard? Ms. Gottlieb? Ms. Graham?
Yes.
Dr. Yaris Ramos?
Aye.
Ms. Ginsburg?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay, administrative items. Heather, would you move the administrative items?
Sure. I move A1 through A9.
Okay, may I have a second?
Second.
Second from Anthony. Any discussion on the administrative items? All right, Barbara, would you call the roll?
Ms. Akinwande?
Aye.
Mr. Bonnet?
Yes.
Mr. Denard? Ms. Gottlieb? Ms. Graham?
Yes.
Dr. Yaris Ramos?
Aye.
Ms. Ginsburg?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, Anthony, would you move the personnel items?
Yes, I'll move P1 through P14 in addition to P9 and addendum of P14 through P16.
Okay. May I have a second? Second from Jocelyn. In keeping with the rules and the board members' code of ethics, we do not discuss personnel items in public session. That being the case, Barbara, would you call the roll?
Ms. Akinwande?
Aye.
Mr. Bonnet?
Yes.
Mr. Denard? Ms. Gottlieb? Ms. Graham?
Yes.
Dr. Yaris Ramos?
Aye.
Ms. Ginsburg?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay, Heather, would you move the curriculum items?
Sure. I move C1A on the regular agenda and B on the addendum.
All right, may I have a second?
Second.
Was that Duval?
Tricia.
Tricia. Sorry. All right. Any questions, board members, on the curriculum items? Barbara, would you call the roll?
Ms. Akinwande?
Aye.
Mr. Bonnet?
Yes.
Mr. Denard? Ms. Gottlieb? Ms. Graham?
Yes.
Dr. Yaris Ramos?
Aye.
Ms. Ginsburg?
Aye.
Motion carries.
All right, before we move the business items, I draw your attention to item B3, donations. From the Glen Ridge Volleyball Booster Club, a donation for GRHS Boys Volleyball Spring 2024 uniforms at a monetary value of about $20,748, and also donation from the Linden Avenue Home and School Association, art display boards for the Arts and Eco Fair, an author visit, solar eclipse glasses, very important, and a day in clay grade level workshop assembly for various costs that seem to add up to over $3,000. So thank you both to the volleyball program and also to Linden Avenue Home and School. And now, Duval, would you move the business items?
Sure. I'll move B1 through B9, noting that B8, there are additions on the addendum, and B9 is also on the addendum.
All right, may I have a second?
Second.
Second from Heather. Any discussion, board members, on the business items? All right, Barbara, would you call the roll?
Ms. Akinwande,
Aye.
Mr. Bonnet,
Yes.
Mr. Denard, Ms. Gottlieb, Ms. Graham,
Yes.
Dr. Yaros Ramos,
Aye.
Ms. Ginsburg.
Aye.
Motion carries.
All right. We've reached the second public comment period, a second chance for anyone who wants to make a public comment. Is there public comment?
So I couldn't help but notice when you were introducing the salutatorian and valedictorian and all their accomplishments, that there was a very long list of AP exams that they had taken. And I know that that was not always possible in Glen Ridge. And thanks to the administration for bringing to the foundation the virtual high school program 10, 11, 12 years ago. A long time ago. There are an increased number of tests being taken, both via the virtual high school, which of course enhances the students' resumes, but also some of those courses that we used to offer via VHS are now adopted into the on-site curriculum. For instance, psychology. I noticed one of them took psychology, and I remember that was a very popular one back when we first started doing this. So I'm very happy that we've been able to do it for so long, and I wish I had a count of all the kids and the number of exams that have been taken, or classes that have been taken, more importantly, and especially in the computer science vein. Because that's a tremendous accomplishment that that young lady has achieved. So thank you. And
Thank
come
you.
get free cotton candy, remember, on Saturday.
Thank you, Fran. In terms of touching lives, the foundation has helped us to touch so many lives, and we are so grateful. And I have to say, after hearing a lot of sort of the semi-informed movement in Trenton about early literacy, it's so nice to be here to see so many successful practitioners of the Orton-Gillingham method and to be able to thank the foundation for their support of that. So thank you.
It's our pleasure.
All right, any further comment for the good of all? That being the case, may I have a motion to adjourn? Moved by Anthony, may I have a second? Second by Heather. Thank you all.